Hi folks, welcome back. Thank you for watching. Please do hit subscribe if you haven't done so yet. It really does help when you do that. So today folks, I wanted to look at PAF pickups because as regulars to this channel will know, I'm a big fan of PAFs and how they sound and feel under the fingers. But I've recently put a set of the OX4 Beanos in my Les Paul Standard. So for the first time I have 4 different guitars, each with slightly different takes on the PAF pickup in them. So some are covered, some are uncovered. Some are low wind, some are slightly hotter. 3 of the sets are made by Mark Stow at OX4, 1 of the sets is made by Matt Gleeson at Monty's in London. But most importantly, in the bridge pickups at least, I have all 4 different types of AlNiCo magnet historically found in PAFs. AlNiCo 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I'm just going to be focusing on bridge pickups today because that's where I've got the 4 different types of magnet. Now, this isn't a particularly scientific video because of course how a pickup sounds very much depends on situation, the guitar it's in, the construction of that guitar, how close the pickup is to the strings, whether the pole pieces have been raised or not, all of that sort of stuff. And the 4 guitars I've got here all have very different constructions. So I've got 2 Les Pauls, mahogany body with a maple top, an SG, a very thin, solid mahogany body, and a Heritage 535 with a sort of 3-ply maple laminate. So very different guitars, they've all got the same hardware and electronics, but that's about as far as it goes. So today, as I said, there isn't a huge amount to learn from this video. Think of this as a celebration of the PAF pickup, as it were. Now, I'm going to make a video at a later date exploring magnets in PAF pickups and take just one individual pickup, swap the magnets in and out and see what difference that makes. So that's going to be a much more scientific look at magnets in PAF pickups. But today I wanted to put these 4 guitars side by side to see what differences there are between them. What difference does an uncovered PAF have to a covered one? How does the DC resistance or wind of a pickup affect the sound? All that sort of stuff. So first and foremost, I'm going to put all 4 of the guitars into my Hughes and Kettner, which is running pretty clean so we can hear all the really subtle differences between them, and then try a few different gain pedals. And I'm deliberately going to set them fairly different. So I'm going to have the Origin Revival Drive set quite bassy, the Kingsley Page set quite bright, then put a mid-push tube screamer on, the flat frequency King of Tone, just to see how these pickups behave in a sort of more modern pedalboard context. Because of course the gain pedals will hide some of the subtle differences, but I do think it's a very valid test in 2021. So without further ado guys, let's get paffing. folks, now please do comment underneath, let me know what you were hearing today, which pickup and which guitar was your favourite, did you like any of the gain pedals, did you prefer the clean amp? I love chatting nerdy guitar stuff with you folks in the comment sections. Now, I'll be honest, I was kind of surprised how similar they sounded, considering how different those pickups are in terms of spec and magnet and wind, but also how different the guitars they were in are. Now, to my ears at least, the AlNiCo 5 with the hotter wind in the Les Paul Custom, that guitar had the most weight to it, which isn't too unsurprising. It was more kind of rocking and barky in the lower mid-range. The AlNiCo 4 in the SG seemed to have a kind of slightly sweeter top end than the others, and it wasn't treble as such, because I think the uncovered pickups had the most treble, which we've seen in previous videos. But there was a kind of bell-like quality to it, which I really liked. I can't really describe it without using really rubbish adjectives, but that's what I was hearing. The AlNiCo 3 in the Les Paul Standard, the Beano, that seemed to have a more kind of bitey, focused upper mid-range going on, helped by being uncovered, but it was one of the more sort of aggressive sounding pickups. And the AlNiCo 2 in the Heritage, to me, it felt the most dynamic. It was the most kind of touch sensitive under the fingers. Whether that came across in the audio or not, I don't know, but that's kind of what I was feeling. And I think the AlNiCo 2 really suits the kind of thin line construction of that guitar. But those are just my thoughts, folks. Please do let me know what you thought today. As I said, this isn't a particularly scientific video. I'm going to look much more in depth at magnets and PAF pickups in a later video, so that'll be a little bit more kind of in depth than the sort of control test, as it were. This is more a kind of celebration of the PAF pickup. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, folks. I love hearing from you guys and getting your opinions. So thanks for watching, folks. I hope this video was interesting and useful for you in some way. Please do carry on subscribing. It really does help when you do that. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.